I actually had an operator that's against, I guess, change, and a little old school guy, and he's like, Perkle, I just don't know about this is kind of stupid. The paper is easy for me. And he came back and said this was actually easier than the paper. Okay. So I was really, really happy with that, because I really value this guy. He's been with ZF for 35 years. He's one of our old school guys, and he's like, it was easier. The human side, the very human side. That's my approach. I really feel like I take a personal approach towards the operators, and I work for them. So my job is I work for them. So usually it's a top down, but we try to go from bottom up. Approach. I've been with ZF, this October will be 26 years. We worked as an operator in the our construction business over at the Gainesville Plant 2. I did that for about 17 years there. I was a team leader, supervisor, repair technician. And then in 2017, I started my lean journey and started being in the lean role. Okay. So I was a senior, I was a specialist, and then I became a senior specialist, and now I'm over both plants. I think for ideal plant for us, you always want to concentrate on the 4 key lean principles. Which would be, we want a safe plant. We want a plant that doesn't put the customer at risk, that has good quality. We also want to be able to meet we want to have a good cost and time. Yeah. So if we could achieve those 4 KPIs at a high level, then we'll have customer satisfaction. And the goal is to have 100% customer satisfaction. I just want to make the job easier for the operator, because I believe if we continue to make the job easier for the operator, then we'll get the KPIs and the stuff that we want. So there's definitely some challenges that we've come across here from COVID to now, but I think where we're finally starting to head back in the right direction, where we're starting to be more proactive again. The Odin is really good for manufacturing, so the work steps. Even for a person that doesn't work there that often, really one of the key factors is with work instructions is that we want to build a product the safe way. So Odin helps that. We also want to build a product with good quality. Odin helps that. And then we also want to build the product in the best way, which is the fastest way and the way that produces it within cycle. And Odin will help you do that. So with Odin's work instructions, with the steps going in sequence, it actually allows you to train less. So, because the work instructions are in front of you, they're easy to read, they're simple, they're easy to understand. Even for a person like myself who goes out there and maybe does a step or two or does some operation or two on it, I can really know what's going on without spending a lot of time out there. And if something doesn't move or a sensor doesn't move, Odin kind of gives you a hint of like, hey, even though you got the bearing cup there, the sensor may not be reading it, and you kind of move it, and you're like, oh, then the pallet moves. Yeah. So then we were able to say, okay, hey, we need to look at the sensor. Something's going on. Figure out what that is. So Odin really helps you figure out what's going on with the process. In the past, we used to have paperwork, that you had to basically memorize. So you'd have the papers, and you try to memorize the steps, and you'd have someone telling you what to do. With Odin, you can show them what to do, but then Odin is always there, right in front of them. It's a very right in the right spot, and the operators can basically build and look at the same time. And then they'll eventually get up to cycle time speed, which they're pretty close with Odin helping. For me personally, when I run a machine or something, if, like I said, you're looking, and if something doesn't go right, Odin kind of tells you, hey, what you missed, or what you skipped, or anything. It won't allow you to move to the next step unless you do the previous step. Yeah.
It's really easy to read off. Anybody could even do it. Even the trainees, it's simple step by step. Whenever there's a problem, it tells us, it comes up, things like that. It's easier to troubleshoot when you have, something telling you what's actually going on.
This actually came through with Jendamark and ZF as a joint kind of idea. We have a problem getting maintenance techs. Maintenance techs is a big issue for us. We can't do this, but we have these PMs that we wanted to load into, how to do the PMs, and we just got thinking and got talking. Was like, hey, what if we do our TPM checks, our 5S checks in Odin? And we got discussing, hey, what's possible? And we went down this rabbit hole of hey, what can Odin do? And what has actually happened is we've created this new system of where it's basically our okay to start. So the operator comes in the morning, They'll do their quick 5S checks. This actually teaches them a little bit about 5S. And finally, do you accept responsibility for the work area? If they click yes, then hey, this is my area. Then the supervisor comes by later, say the area is a mess. Well, hey, they left it for me this way, but you checked okay. So it really drives this accountability and this, and we've seen really good response from operators. The supervisor is probably more on board than the operators are, because he loves it, because he doesn't have to walk around the line. He doesn't have to check the boards. The information comes to him. We've streamlined the boards. The boards were a lot bigger. Now we've made them a lot smaller, because a lot of the data that we have is in Odin now. The Odin can produce these graphs and charts and different stuff. So now our supervisors are able to actually supervise again and not be so tied down with admin, because it's the worst part of any job is all the admin and the paper and the stuff work. I've asked 1 or 2 operators, and one of the guys goes, "Oh, I love it." He says, he's doing his 5S check. He says, "I do my TPM check first, and then I do my 5S check." And I was like, "Hey," he tells his third shift operator, "So look, there's trash on the floor. I'll check. No, I don't care. Like, and the operator goes, "Okay, I'll clean."
It's more accountability, they have to, But it's easier than the board and writing it down. But sometimes we don't have those pins, and it's just much easier with the computer.
Would you recommend Odin?
Oh, definitely. We've recommended it to Marysville, which is getting it actually, and we actually had one of our suppliers come down, and he was checking it out, and he was really pushing for not suppliers but customers pushing for Marysville to have Jendamark.